In a world where nuclear war has begun, vampires fought back in super real 3D.
There are so many bands that we used to play with when I was in Kill Clouseau. Kill Clouseau was the band that I was in for over a decade. We were a progressive rock band, heavily influenced by like Tool, Perfect Circle, a little bit of System of a Down, Nine Inch Nails. I think we had our own thing. You be the judge of that. Anyway, there's so much more to it than just playing music, so it becomes a tremendous amount of more work than just writing songs. And when you do that, you know how many bands there were that we played on the stage with that went on for years as well, and they broke up. I get it, but they don't have anything to show for it, like other than the experience, which is invaluable. But they never got real recordings made. They never got a video made, for sure. You know, they didn't have anything tangible. They never even really made much merch other than stickers, and that's it. So you spend even 5 years of your life trying to do that, and standing up for yourself to people to say that's what you do and that's what you're going to do. You know, when people are like, get a real job, blah, blah, blah. You're like, I'm going to be, you know, a musician for a living. You know, that's what I'm going to do. And people will tout that and then not actually invest past their equipment. I couldn't believe how many bands wouldn't invest in actually making tangible product that they could sell, and also tangible testaments to everything that they've been working on. I mean, to not have gotten to record your album or even a few songs well is a travesty. To spend all that time. I mean, there is nothing like when you get to hear your music recorded well and you get to say, that's what we sound like. It's inspiring to keep going, you know, and it's something you can just show on a whim as a single person instead of having to get a full show together and have to get somebody out to show. And it's how you get people out to your shows. And it's how you get potential investors from labels to be interested. You have to have recordings. If you chose to be in a band, you're trying to avoid the normal 9-to-5 work like lifestyle, right? You're trying to be an artist, and you want to do the funnest thing that gives you the most life fulfillment for a living. And I can't endorse that enough. But when people want to do that, it's so funny how little they'll put into the investment of making that happen. I mean, you're an entrepreneur if you're doing that. And any business actually takes some money that you got to put into it. I mean, even if you're going to do a hot dog stand, you know, you've got to put up, you know, several $1,000s. And that's one person trying to do a hot dog stand, potentially. If you're in a band, you're talking about usually a minimum of 3 people, and oftentimes up to 5. And you guys get to split this cost. Let's just say that you are in a band and you're intimidated to drop as a group, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 into making product, whether it be, you know, a full album or a few songs and a music video and shirts, however you choose to split it up. And you want the end result to be that you make literally, you know, potentially millions of dollars, right? You want to go all the way with your music. I mean, there's no other business model that you'd put in that little and plan to make that much at the end. And yet people that do traditional businesses are always under the assumption, they understand that I'm going to have to spend a few $1,000s to get started, and then hopefully once it gets off after a year or two of hard work, maybe I'll be bringing in $30,000 a year, $50,000 a year. And as a rock star, you're hoping to make bukus of money, and you guys get to split the cost to go into it. So regardless of that, I have never met a band, including myself, that regretted having done and made the recordings, because they were the testament to something I had poured my heart and soul into for so long. And I will always treasure those. In Kill Clouseau, we recorded an EP, we recorded 2 albums, we made a handful of music videos to the best of my ability with the gear when I was getting set up. They're not quite at the level that I can do now. But I still love our little old videos, you know? And we filmed a bunch of live shows and filmed those. And you might say, well, you had all the gear. And I was like, well, I was a struggling musician that was just trying to create another work path that would coincide with wanting to be a rock star. Okay? With video production, if I could do my own thing, that would complement how available I had to stay for the random show or the random opportunity to fly up to New York to play for some label. I had other jobs that enabled me to do that as well, as a stagehand for 12 years at the Civic Center, right? And in doing that, again, it's like an on-call thing. They'd call you if you needed work. They'd call you if they had work available, and you'd say yay or nay on if you could do it. And it's that. You didn't have to dedicate yourself to a solid schedule. Reps don't go to every show. A&R reps don't just bounce to every show. Now they're not going to go check you out unless you got a buzz online, pretty much. It might be the luck of the draw that they're there checking out somebody else that they already researched that had material, and they go to your show, and then they, see you as well, and then that works out. Fantastic. But if you want to, it's already hard enough to make it. Why are you going to limit yourself to that opportunity happening? Why not be the reason that they're coming? So you have to show that you have a business model already set up online. You got to show that you have product, that you're doing well enough to make product, and product being your own recordings. Even if it's just an EP, totally acceptable. I can't stress enough how amazing a music video is. It just separates yourself from the herd so much more. I mean, you think about how many bands are trying to make it, right? Millions of bands. And then how many of those bands have recordings? Okay, well, that consolidates it down. There's still millions. How many of them have good recordings, like real recordings? Well, now it's getting thinner and thinner. And then how many of those bands have music videos? Okay, well, a lot of bands kind of have crappy music videos, just a really homespun stuff, which if you play into that, you can pull it off, but a lot of people try to go for something outside of their realm of ability, and then it ends up just looking really cheesy. And then how many bands do you know that are trying to make it that have totally professional videos that'll stand up to being, broadcast ready that you could play on MTV? How many bands do you know personally that have that plus their album plus merchandise, and then also can show a following online? Because the amount of those bands is now you're really getting into the niche. Now you're really getting into the smaller market, okay? And so why wouldn't you if you're really trying to go somewhere with this, why wouldn't you want to be that close? When you have your product and everything all in line, it gives you leverage when you're negotiating for shows, how much you're getting paid, whether you're on the bill or not, and where you're placed on the bill. It gives you leverage if you do get into conversation with a label. You've shown that you are a functioning group that is paying and self-sustaining for itself to make product. And the reality is that you're not. You're probably not. You guys are paying this out of your pocket with, hard work that you're doing at normal jobs. It's exactly what we did. And I put some money on a credit card. Hell yeah, I did, But it was the best. If I'm going to spend money on something and go into debt for it, I'm going to go into debt for my dreams. Anyway, I recommend if you are in a band, invest in yourself. Past your equipment and past the time that you put in. If you're going to do all that, make some product, even if you don't do a video, at least do recordings. Do some real ones. And I do recommend quality over quantity, absolutely, every time. If you can only record 3 quality recordings of songs, get those. Don't get a whole album of mediocre recordings, because nothing's going to punch. All of it, nothing's going to really grab the people. You're doing yourself an injustice as to what the music really is. Best of luck. Invest in yourself. Have something to show for it at the end that you are proud of. That's a testament to something you poured your life into. And hopefully it will take you places and give you the leverage that you need for better deals with labels, getting better shows, etc. So good luck, guys.
Oh, dude! You son of a bitch! Wish you quit injuring people with bamboo, man.